So the first strategy I wanted to speak to you about from the Collaborative Learning Techniques book would be the jigsaw method. Now, jigsaw method, does that sound familiar? In week 5, we did a learning object jigsaw exploration. So if you think back to how that activity worked, I divided the class into 4 distinct groups: a red group, green group, yellow group, and a blue group. Each one of those groups was responsible for exploring the content provided. In this case, they were web tools. I had each one of you working within a larger group of peers, organized by colored groups, and while you were exploring these tools that I had shared with you, you guys were discussing the features of these tools using another chat program. And at the conclusion of your explorations, I then rejigged all the groups, jigsawed it up, so that you would be in numbered groups. Now, each one of these numbered groups, groups of 4, had one person from the red group, yellow group, green group, and blue group. So each person was coming to the group with a new set of expertise that weren't known to their peers to share and present on. So, I mean, in a nutshell, that's the jigsaw method. You're going to separate your students into, like I said, maybe divide your class up into 4 kind of larger groups. And each one of these groups will be given a content topic to research or explore. Now, whether you're developing these research activities yourself, for example, I did that in a class. I kind of had preset tools I wanted you to look at. Or maybe you're having them do inquiry on a topic, but they're doing a little bit more exploration. Maybe it's a little bit unstructured. If perhaps previously in the class you've given them some routines and good practices surrounding internet research, then what you're doing is you're taking those groups, you're breaking them back up again, and you're making sure that these smaller groups each have one member from each of the larger groups, so that they can come to the smaller group with a wealth of information and experiential knowledge that their peers are lacking. This is a really great method to have your learners explore not only a wide variety of content, but also to do a pretty decent job of synthesizing it, in that they have to be able to present that information to their peers, but their peers are also getting some oral feedback and instruction from their friends and maybe having some discussion surrounding it. And so you really do have some quality community learning happening in those circumstances. So if you need to look at the documentation and how we did it, go jump back to week 5 and look at it. And while we came back to our groups, numbered groups in person, you could use discussion forums, you could use Padlet or Poplet or MindMeister. I mean, any number of online collaborative tools, Google Docs, you name it, to have people operate in these kind of breakout sessions and communicate with each other. So if you've got any questions about it, feel free to email me. Again, Jigsaw method, huge fan, love it, use it.